Hi, I'm Matt Backer, the Community Manager at MyMiniFactory, and I'm here to talk very briefly about all of the new stuff happening on MyMiniFactory this March. Of course, the major news announcement from the last few weeks of February was the fact that Thingiverse.com has joined the MyMiniFactory family alongside Umagine.com. Anyone who knows 3D printing has definitely used Thingiverse at some point. It's one of the legendary legacy websites. It's the first port of call that anyone who's getting into 3D printing always goes to. So I know, at least on my account, I am personally very excited to welcome them and to bring them in and share our core values with them. Over at MyMiniFactory, we are celebrating Thingiverse joining our family with a site-wide sale. Hundreds of your favourite creators have already signed up with up to 50% off. You see one-page rules, Miniatures of Madness, Galad Miniatures Custom Play. However, as we can see from the top, the sale lasts until the 10th of March. So by the time this video goes out, you should still have a couple of days to jump on board and grab some of these discounted prices. Next, I'm going to have a look at some of the frontiers that are going to be running through March. So we have this Napoleonic Wars Expansion Pack 1 by STL Army. Looks like a collection of French and British troops from the Napoleonic Wars at a series of scales, pre-supported. That's always good to see. Rulebook coming soon, so you can learn how to play the game as well. And examples of 3D prints. It's always good to see when a creator shows you how printable their models are. Next we have the Winter Reavers by Echo Art. This frontier is live until March the 28th. Looks like we got some nice wintry Viking-esque models here. Got a nice array of warriors, some look human, some look skeletal, a bunch of animals and creatures, some mythical, some not so. Oh, and a nice collection of objects. I do like when packs come with lots of nice set dressing and things that you can add. Oh, and busts, that's fun. I do enjoy them for painting practice, that's great to see. Oh, and a book, which I assume is included as a PDF. A rulebook for the game, nice. Oh, and some test prints. Again, always good to see that the creator has had a go at printing them and proven that they all work. Fantastic. And pre-supported, love to see that. Next up we have Squid and Lamprey by Nova Minis. To me this is giving Spelljammer. Interesting variant on a Nautiloid, because it's not a Nautiloid, I guess they've taken the concept of ships in space that look like sea creatures and yeah, gone for a squid and a lamprey instead of whatever it is a Nautiloid is based off of, the great big shell thing at the back. And it looks like it's modular as well and playable. You can take it apart and see the different decks down below. I always love it when creators do that with ships. I print all of them, but they just take up so much space. I've got a number of ships I need to finish painting. I do love a good ship. Next up is Terra Ultima by Printera. Campaign live until the 7th of April. This looks like a skirmish game where the different factions that you can play as are based on different religions. And it looks like the team behind it have taken the game to various conventions and shows to do demos as well, so that's good. So people have already had the chance to play the game, now they can get the miniatures printing at home on MyMiniFactory. Next up is Tiny Pals Farm Animals by Dungeon Paws. Very cute, chibi, very spherical, very round animals here coming in, themed around farmyard creatures. If you have a nice whimsical, cartoonish campaign, I can see this working very well, especially if you're playing a druid or a wizard with a familiar. Once again, test prints and pre-supported, we love to see it. We have this Deep Space Freighter by Nova Sci-Fi. This frontier is live until the 18th of March. Again, it looks like another modular ship. Comes in multiple parts with a playable interior by the looks of it. So it looks like this side bit here is the actual vessel, the actual cargo ship. And this thing here is like a container, that's where the cargo is held, and it sort of links and docks. Oh, that's nice, lots of cool scatter terrain. Again, like I said earlier, I love some good scatter terrain. Make things look more lived in and real. The design is making me think very much of, did anyone remember Homeworld? An old game from, must be the early 2000s. Lots of space freighters and shipping lanes. And yeah, just seeing a nice big resource cargo transport ship. It reminds me of that game. Next we have Barbarian Invasion by, apologies if I pronounce this wrong, Art Markjevic, maybe? Collection of barbarian warriors, some on foot, some on horseback. Again, test printed. This is Nomads Unbound by Minds Vision. Let's have a look at this trailer. Nice. So it looks like a modern day skirmish game. What have we got? 2 tabletop games, 1 shared universe, 50 plus miniatures ready to play. It's a nice healthy number of miniatures. Oh, I see. So it's 2 games in one. So in this Nomads Unbound universe, you have both the RPG system for an RPG game designed for GM-less play. That's interesting. I'd be keen to see how they've done that. And Nomads Unbound Battleground, standalone skirmish game, app-assisted skirmish game. Interesting. It feels like there's a lot of lore to be unpacked here behind Nomads Unbound. I liked one of the models had this sort of triangular looking portal that the guy was stepping through. That's cool. I always like to see magical effects. Yeah, these guys. Love to see magical effects on miniatures. Interesting. Next up is Blooming in Adversity by Roxyox Studios. Looks like we've got 5 Flower Fairy models. Perfect for a Feywild or sort of cozy cottagecore RPG, done in a chibi sort of style. 2 poses for each fairy, according to the description. This is the Butcher 2 Missile Artillery Tank by Black Cat Cartel. Let's have a little look at the video. Beautiful paint job on it. It comes in multiple pieces and assembled after printing. I wonder if some of the weapons on top are modular. Oh, there we go, options. Nice. Lots of options, love to see that. Now we have Dungeon of Ravenwatch Ruins by Mega Man 3D. Looks like another modular dungeon creator, like a tile set for building your own dungeons. Done in a very nice gothic style. With a name like Ravenwatch, I can imagine maybe there's a certain vampire lord who might live in a place like this. And I know exactly what sort of D&D campaign I would use this for. Next we come to Fate's End Tomes Reforged, 3D printable storage for your gaming gear. Looks very popular by Fate's End, yeah, like it says in the title. Yeah, I love this sort of stuff, gaming accessories that are 3D printable. As you can tell from the display behind me, I love books and wizardy aesthetic things, so this is exactly the sort of thing that I enjoy. Let's have a look at their video. Nice, so it's swappable. That's clever. That's fun, lots of different options. Nice. That's exactly the sort of thing I could see myself printing and doing, so I might have to keep an eye on this one myself. Looks like 14 different covers inspired by the different classes from Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, and then even more based on just other generic things like loot, custom text, generic symbols. And then yeah, all these modular trays you can put inside. Very neat idea. I like that a lot. Next is Void Ship by Cursed Anvil. Modular supportless interior sci-fi terrains. This is our second modular tile set we have this month in Frontiers. Although I will say, I don't think I've seen many tile sets like this that are sort of flavoured in a sci-fi style. It's mostly dungeons and like ruins and medieval streets. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen many people that have done this for the sci-fi setting. You can see it's been perfect for sci-fi themed war and skirmish games, the objective markers and stuff. This is Women of Tabletop Volume 2 by M3DM. Elf, Steampunk Noble, City Druid. Okay, so we've got sort of like, not fully, it's like fantasy with a hint of sci-fi sort of added, like a modern day twist. Almost a sort of cyberpunky in a way. This elven girl riding baby unicorn, that's more classic fantasy. So we've got a nice mixture there of steampunk, sci-fi blend and more traditional fantasy models. And a test print, love to see a test print as always. Next up we have Hate, the definitive miniature collection. There's a lot of names involved here. So by my understanding, Chronicles of Hate is a comic book series by this guy here, Adrian Smith. I assume this is Adrian Smith. The arrow seems to imply that he is. And this is a series of miniatures based off of his world. I imagine this is an interview between, is it Titanforge? This is a collaboration between Titanforge and Big Child Creatives working together with this artist to make this a thing. So yeah, if we click here if you want to see the guys from Titanforge chatting with Adrian Smith, let's see what we've got here. A brutal world created by Adrian Smith with miniatures designed and upgraded for 3D printing by Big Child Creatives and Titanforge. It looks like a lot of content here. Yeah, that sort of grim dark aesthetic is perfect for wargaming. It definitely is like the aesthetic people like to go with. Plate hate models in the best open system by one-page rules. Wonderful. That's yet another creator that's a part of this project. Oh, and they're developing an RPG with Archvillain Games. This is like the Avengers Endgame of our creators. Everyone's coming together to work on this great big project. Lots of models here. There's a lot of information on this Frontier page. Lots of videos as well about the world and the lore and everything behind Hate and the Chronicles of Hate. And it looks like it's already very popular. 28 days left, so it finishes on, let's grab the date, March the 28th. The last Frontier, as of time of recording that I can see at the minute, is Nun Squad 2 by R&E Studio. Looks like we got some inspired by Sisters of Battle models for skirmish games. Now we're going to briefly look at the Frontiers that are in the pre-marketing phase that aren't launched yet, but you can sign up to get notified when they do go live. We have the Iron Duke set by Baraka Games and Miniatures. Looks like another historical that's detailing sort of conflict between this governor, this guy known as the Iron Duke. Range of historical miniatures. Another historical, this time from the American Civil War by Battlecat Historicals. Oh, and they've got a free figure that they're giving away. That's nice to see. Not much information to go on here, but we have a band of mercenaries that looks to be fantasy, maybe with a slight sci-fi vibe. It's too early to tell. But this is from White Angel. keep an eye on that one. Odd Willow coming out with a set of 3 busts representing 3 muses. Display painting bust sets. Full bust and academic bust. Nice, pre-supported. Modern Miniatures. Looks like they're releasing a set with gear. So like scattered terrain, lots of bits. Like rucksacks, sleeping mats, gear bags, rolled tarps, all the sort of stuff, which I guess you can add it to your vehicles. It could be good scattered terrain, basing materials. Got a terrain set by Hexhog tabletops here. Got terrifying trenches. Using their Hex modular design for trench warfare. I hear there's a war game out at the minute which uses trenches, so I can see that being quite popular. Another pre-marketing frontier from White Angel. This is Dwarf Empire. Is that a hot air balloon? I've always like I was saying earlier, I like ships. I've always wanted to print a hot air balloon, but I've never got around to making one. Maybe this will be the first. I do like the idea of dwarves being an engineering sort of very hands-on mechanical race. Might be the first to build a hot air balloon. It's almost counterintuitive, living under a mountain but flying in the sky. I like that. Next we have the Grand Cathedral by Hexbrick. Looks like another set of terrain for skirmishes and war games. Very gothic, grim, dark aesthetic. Looks like it could very much work with something like Trench Crusade. Oh, yep, in fact, they say it themselves, yeah. Works nicely with Trench Crusade. Oh, and they're offering a free model as well if you wanted to download and test print to see how you vibe with their designs and their models. Now this is a classic MyMiniFactory creator. This is Dragon Trapper's Lodge coming in with what looks like an army of insectoid aliens compatible with the OPR skirmish game system. Over 150 minis. Nice. Not much else to say apart from that, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. I do like the work of Dragon Trapper's Lodge. And I do love the whole concept of anyone can build an army and contribute to the one-page rule system. I think that's very neat, and I just love to see that collaboration between our different designers on our platform. Got some more War Machine coming. So let's say we've got 3 new factions joining the fray. Infernals, is that Grimkin? Is that, am I pronouncing that correctly? And the Convergence of Crisis Rise Again. Yeah, again, very exciting to see War Machine on MyMiniFactory. Oh, and another free STL for you to print right away if you back now. Awesome. Dark Art Marionettes coming in with the Grimdark Marionettes. This is fun. Yeah, someone with a background in cosplay and prop building, and like I say, I like having things on display. This is very neat, these skull drones. I like that a lot. I'm surprised no one's done that before. That's such a good idea. Big fan of that. C2D have announced Forgotten Relics of the Jungle. Very mysterious, not much to go on, but I'm anticipating jungle temples and ruins and that sort of stuff. Mads Minis are coming in with a frontier there. I don't see a title or a name for this one, but from reading the little description here, it sounds like normally the armies will have a large range of models, but for this particular release we're looking at one giant model, around 50 to 60 centimeters tall, so that's going to be very much the centerpiece of your army moving along behind the troops there. And to wrap up, we have 2 tribe launches. The first one is Ashen Armies. You can access a free trial month. It looks like it's potentially a skirmish game. Yeah, Ashen Armies free trial. How to get notified when the tribe goes live on March the 2nd. And the last tribe that we're talking about this is a very exciting one. This is Mantic Games' The Walking Dead All-Out War Miniatures game, which is coming exclusively to tribes. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it here, because next week I'm actually going up to Nottingham to visit Mantic Games to have a more in-depth chat with them about this game and the move to MyMiniFactory. So I'm going to keep quiet on this for now, but expect a more detailed video specifically about this coming later this month. I will briefly say that there's some fun promotional things going on here. If you subscribe to this tribe, you're also going to get $10 credit to use on the Mantic Games store and your campaigns, which I imagine will be added to your MyMiniFactory account, which is great. And you get a free model of Negan here and Rick's badge. Again, love props, so that's very cool. But yes, expect more news about that later. And it looks like that's everything in terms of upcoming tribe launches and frontiers for March. You can expect a few more videos later this month. Like I say, I'm going to be having a chat about The Walking Dead with Mantic Games. Other than that, expect another update in, what would it be? It would be April for everything happening on MyMiniFactory next month. See you later.